Hi everyone, the Mature Simmer here. Welcome to another map tour. So this is, and I'm probably going to say it totally wrong because I don't know German that well, Nordfriesische Marsch or Northfriesian is what I've seen as well. So this is a 4X map by FEDAction. And there's a lot of information they provide about it. And before we obviously get in and look around, this is the spawn area here, near, a shop and so forth. So that's where we're standing right now, just so you get a little bit of perspective. Oh, hi dear. Let's go into the loads and loads of description that are given to us about this map. So first, landscape. Typical North German landscape in North Friesland. We have dykes here, ditches around the fields, and the fields are mostly square. The land was reclaimed from the North Sea by dykes over the course of the last few centuries. So, as I've commented plenty of times, so you've probably heard me, I'm not a huge fan of square fields normally, but certainly an area that has things built that way, and I would understand as you're reclaiming land, you're going to likely do it in more rectangular or square sections. So I'm certainly willing to, give a map like that a try, because there's a reason for why the fields are square, other than it was just easier for me to make the map with square fields. Moving on. Courtyards, which I assume he means the farm spaces here. There are no prefabricated courtyards. Everyone can creatively design their own courtyard according to their personal preferences. There are a few large spaces available for this. In the map, a few halls and a workshop are attached. Now, the other thing that may have occurred here is I'm using Google Translate to translate the German site that the modder has into English, and so maybe it's a word for farmyards and Google's not translating it into that. So anyway, but to me the description sounds like it's talking about the farmyards. Fields, then forest. On the NF March there are 79 fields. From 0.8 hectares to 95 hectares, everything is there. Average field is about 12.8 hectares, and the total area of all fields is a little over 1,000 hectares, of which about 140 hectares are grassland. So we'll take a look in a little more detail when we look at the PDA on the maps, or the field sizes and how they're divvied up, but that gives you a little bit of explanation direct from the modder. In the forest area, there are more than 150 hectares of forest, with countless trees, most of which are also suitable for the wood harvester. Fruits. In addition to the standard fruits, rye, spelt, triticale, and millet are now installed on the map. As additional filling types, there are earth, sand, and gravel. On the map, you can excavate and sell with an excavator. Then there is the sand, gravel, earth area, where there is a lot of material for excavating and loading. So certainly interesting to see some new fruit types coming in. So that's always exciting as well. So definitely something different than what we've seen on any of the maps for FS22 that I've looked at so far. Sales outlets. If you harvest a lot, you also have to sell a lot. There are a total of 16 different points of sale at the NF March fourfold, including Raiffeisen, the port, the train station but without a train, the depot, grain trade, and grain AG. You can also buy seeds, fertilizer, lime, mineral feed, herbicides, and liquid fertilizer at the train station and at Raiffeisen. For pallet goods, there are the sales possibilities Lidl, Aldi, Edeka, the stadium, the hardware store, and the spinning mill. You can sell bales at the nursery and straw at the thermal power station. There is also a sales station for wood at the sawmill. Milk goes to the dairy, no production. Vehicles are bought from the vehicle dealer and animals from the local pet shop. So that you don't stay in the field with your vehicle without diesel, electricity, or methane, there are 3 gas stations, 2 of which are also equipped with charging stations. The map also has 2 large biogas plants which can be purchased and operated. Extensive road network. To easily reach all sales points to be able to, there is a comprehensive road network where mostly AI vehicles are on the road. There is a ready-made auto drive network from Holger for download where all fields and all sales stations have already been driven in. So if you're looking for that and you want to know how to load it if you don't know how to work with an existing auto drive network, you can click up here to my explanation on how to use a prefabricated auto drive network. Collectibles. On the NF Marsche mod map, there are 3 different collectibles to search for. This includes 10 pairs of Shelly shoes, 30 FA gold coins, and 78 NF Marsche pallets. For all collector's items, there are shelves at the vehicle dealer that fill up when the items are found. There is also a bonus when you find all objects in a category. If someone cannot find all the objects themselves, there are suitable help videos on my YouTube channel in which I show all the hiding places for the shoes, coins, and pallets. So, again, pretty nice that they've got collectibles and they've included that within their setup for those who like to play that way. So definitely interesting. All right. Support area. The shop area also serves as a big thank you to the numerous supporters of the NF Marsche. We have listed the active YouTube channel members and the Twitch subs that have made themselves. In addition, there are 78 lovingly and detailed plots of land on the map on which the channel members level farmer, landlord, and Twitch subs level 3 can move in. It got crowded on the March, and we can't say thank you enough for your great support. And once you've moved in, you can still have your property individually designed with various decorative objects. Empty areas. There are at least 15 free areas on the map that will certainly be supplied with productions by me over the next few months. So it sounds like, he might be adding to this map as it goes along and adding production points in. Mod packs. In addition to the map download, then there are 2 more downloads, namely the Feds Mods pack and a Fed production pack, which I will present in another video. The 2 mods are first a summary of all my mods for FS22. So I'll link to those along with the map as well so that you know how to get them. Windmills. It is windy on the North Frisian March, and it can be a long-term investment in wind turbines is worthwhile. The wind turbines installed on the map are practically only decoration. Alright, so those that are working in front of us obviously don't provide any income. But they can be torn down after you have bought the land and replaced by the NF Marsche windmill, which I assume is something that exists in his mod pack. Fruit symbols. All fruit symbols have been revised and no longer look as comic-like. Oh, that's interesting. We'll have to take a look at that. Missions, many. XXL missions, thanks to the size of the map and the number of fields, and been prettied up, so it sounds like the contracts have been changed as well. So as I said, a lot of explanation of what's here on the map. Definitely, sounds like there's plenty to look at. So let's take a look here. I'm assuming this is what he's talking about with the shop. Alright, so there are some of the collectibles. So you can see, I guess, the shoes, FA coins, the FA pallets, so that's what you're looking for. And then these are the folks that, he's thanked and included in the map here, who have supported him over the years. And just looking into the information he's got available, I've seen stuff as far back as FS15, so it certainly appears, he's been doing things for a while. Alright, so customize, repair the vehicles. Obviously we can change our clothes there. And then we've got the shop icon. Oh, he's got more things over here. So yeah, it looks like 1 year, 2 year supporters, and then, you know, certain, like, looks like boards for several folks, just seeing if that door goes anywhere. It does not. But yeah, definitely he's customized the vehicle shop up and so forth. So, got some of his own flags here. Alright, so I'm assuming these are some of his mods. So you can see he's got a New Holland, a Biogas, a Claas, Lexion, John Deere. So it looks like he does a lot of the harvesters. Again, I don't read German, so sorry. Another Claas. And that gets us through to there. Alright, so let's take a look. This is more of like a formal farmyard, or definitely, you know, built up, but let's go to the PDA. Alright, so here we are in the PDA. As he mentioned, you know, field's pretty square, but definitely also, as mentioned, a pretty extensive road network. I'll be curious as we head out to this side if this is really water. You know, they talked about the dykes and so forth. So I'm assuming that must be water out there. Curious what this is, but once again, we'll take a look. And then, you know, here are the different pieces, and so it looks like a lot of things are labeled in German. So there's one of his mods, and I do have both of the mod packs loaded, because otherwise I assume things wouldn't appear properly on the map. So yeah, a mixture of, I think, things he pulled off the map. There's the Raiffeisen that he talked about as being necessary for some things. And then if we change to what we own, you can see where we're here. We've got 3 fields. And, you know, I do have additional field info loaded when I look at my maps. So you can see, even though this is small, this is a 6-acre field, a 6-acre field, and that whole thing is 11 acres, but that includes a section. So this field's 22, 86 acres. Almost 250 acres. I'm guessing that's the largest field, just visually looking at things. And it doesn't look like anything else comes close to it. You know, 79 is 10, but that includes some wooded space. And then he talked about, you know, here you can also purchase things and do logging. So there's definitely some spots there. Alright, that's kind of the center areas, but you know, everything's kind of clickable and compartmentalized, so you can see you do have a lot of choices, and as he mentioned, you know, varying field sizes. So 13 acres, 40 acres, this one looks pretty small, 4 acres. Just curious if there's anything smaller than that. I don't think so. So that may be the smallest. There's this over here that's just 2 acres. So there you go. So that's likely your smallest land that you can purchase. And, you know, you've got the pricing, so you can see, you know, even here we're at 500,000, 600. And we start with 100,000 just as we normally would, so I don't think there's any modification to the values of the starting area. So let's take a look and see if we've got any starting equipment. Alright, so here we are on the owned items, so it does look like we've got quite a bit. So we've got a Fendt as a small tractor. We've got a Claas Axion 800, 205 horsepower is a medium tractor. A New Holland 770 with 9,300 liter capacity. 18,000 liter trailer, 8.5 meter header, small plow, small cultivator, a 6 meter seeder, 24 meter sprayer. We've got the Amazon, I think the adjustable size up to 42 meter spreader. We've got some mowers, as he, I think, mentioned. There's definitely several grass fields, so we've got kind of a front and back, a windrower, forage wagon, and then single header trailer, and then a couple different weights so that each tractor could have a weight if you'd like to do that. So definitely some options there. Yeah, alright, so we can see field 6 is down down the road here. I don't know why I'm running, but I am, and obviously on a 4X map, in hindsight, this is probably not the best idea, because it's obviously taking me a while. Alright, so we've got grass here, 4.59 acres. And then it looks like we've got our farmyard here. And again, you can see there's windmills all over, but as he said, they're decorations at this point, and then you'd have to replace them with things that could generate income if you wanted. So this will be our yard. So we've got a lot of the equipment we talked about, the weights, the windrower, forage wagon, trailer, header, the mowers. Assuming we've got more stuff parked over here. Yep. So the plow, the seeder, the cultivator, and the spreader and the sprayer. And then we've got a 3-bay shed here. Alright, so we've got our tractor, our Kloss tractor, our harvester, the other tractor here, yep. So we've got the Fendt there. So that's nice. Looks like we've got a farmhouse, but I'm assuming it doesn't have... Oh, this may actually not be ours. So let's take a quick look at the PDA. Because, yeah, we are... Yeah, that's actually the neighbor's, so this is not ours. So probably should get away from their laundry. So yeah, we've got a yard, but you'd have to place a house and a sleep trigger if you wanted. It looks like there's a workshop here that, yeah, so we could repair our equipment right there. But other than that, I think that's what we have to start with. And I guess we'll head this way. Just might as well keep running around while I'm running. And see if we've got anything other than grass. So we've got 2 grass fields, and it looks like we might have something here on field 5. But, yeah, it looks like it's harvested. So we did have oats. But, you know, decent-sized fields to begin with. Basically, you know, about 15 acres of workable land, it seems. You know, and you can start with grass work immediately if you'd like to do that without, you know, spending any additional money. So let's take a look at contracts real quick. He talked about some of that. Alright, harvesting, spraying. So looks, you know, kind of standard. I know there was comment about perhaps something a little bit different, but, you know, other than, you know, maybe he's got some different folks and people and so forth. Now on the sale points, he did talk about changing the icons. So these are not the standard in-game icons. You know, they're made, as he said, to look less cartoon-like, and then you can see you've got a lot of sell points for everything. And again, since this is, I assume, originally created in German, most of the locations are still German. So we've got, what, 6 sell points for most items. We've got sorghum here, grapes, olives, sunflowers, let's see, sugar beets, cut sugar beets. Okay, cotton can be sold at the spinnery. Alright, seeds, alright, eggs, wool, milk, so you can do animal production. And then you've got grass, hay, diesel, road salt, flour, and then things, you know, the production items, but there's no production buildings, I don't think. So you'd have to get those and put them in as mods, I think, or wait until he updates the map to include productions to use those type of things. And then he talked about stones, and I'm guessing that's earth or soil. Don't know what kies is, sorry, and sand. And then he said rye, spelt triticale, and millet. I'm going to assume that's what those are. Once again, not knowing German, but Rogan, they both start with I. With R. I'll go with that. Alright, so let's quickly fly around, see what we see. You know, again, as he mentioned, you know, it's up here in North Germany, so definitely some water. A little interesting down there. I guess we'll head that way. You know, I do have things where I've sped up a bit, but even on with that, it takes a little while to move. Yeah, it might just be water that hasn't spawned out, or I guess it's really past the edge of the map. So yeah, you can see kind of the dike walls at the edge there. A little bit of trees, like a little pond or a lake with homes around it. And this, I think, gets us, yeah, to the edge of the map. So he's done some things for, you know, providing edge views, but once again, if you fly over the map, you can see maybe a few flaws there in continuity, but not something you're likely going to see from up above. Okay, so this area that I was like, I wonder what that is. This is the excavator area that he referred to, where you can come and dig things out and then sell them. Oh, does he have a fed balloon up here? He does. Look at that. Cute. Alright, so he's got that added on. You know, looks like some space there if you wanted to use that to set up a farm. There's some places there. Again, we'll drive around a little bit again on a 4X map. Getting around even with a pickup is going to be a challenge. Alright, so we've got like some irrigation around the field there. Oh, there's the road. I'm like, how do we get into the field? It's like we have a moat, but no, it wasn't that bad. So yeah, and then this will be the side of the map that kind of had those divisions that I wasn't sure if it was water, but we can clearly see it is, and so you can see how water runs in. You know, again, lots of grass planted. Looks like, well, we've got like a shipping area, quite nice to, you know, show how folks can get in, and yeah, I assume they'd come in from there, because it might be a drawbridge, but not entirely sure that it is. So yeah, you can, you know, own some fields here, and what I would assume is definitely a reclaimed area, as he talked about. They've got some tracks kind of built to maybe expand in the future as they plan to reclaim a little bit more, or maybe that helps them cart dirt out to dump it in and get more things. You can see a car down there driving on the road network, and once again some fields here along with you know, water moving around them, but a little boat floating sideways, a heck of a current. Well, we've even got a lighthouse down here in the corner to help light the way if folks want to find us coming in off the ocean. So pretty nice. Here's some buildings. I think these are the you know, cell points. They look like grain silos and so forth. Another Fed balloon. Another Fed balloon over there. So looks like there's 3 of them. It's hard to get my bearings. I think this is our farm here. No, it's not. Alright, let me just take a quick look. Not sure. Alright, we're down here. Alright. Okay, so kind of that way is where we should be. And our farm will be up here. I think that's it. Yep. So that's where we are. So those are our 3 fields from the air. So you can see we've, you know, even gotten a little bit of road in between them. But I'm going to head over to the shop and I'm going to go ahead and get us a truck and we'll drive around a bit. Alright, so I've gone ahead and decided I'll do something a little different than a truck. I got one of these. Alright, so that'll give us a little bit more open view maybe to take a look around. And so let's drive around a bit, see what we see. See how much traffic we've got. And again, on a 4X map, as he talked about. Okay, so Landmaschinen. Alright, so nice little creek down there. You know, European signage as we'd expect. We're headed by our farm here. But on a 4X map, definitely, you know, some value in an auto drive network so that you don't have to create your own, because as I'm sure you'll be able to tell in a bit, it's going to take a little while to get places. I mean, we just finally got past our fields. And this is a little slower than a truck, but it still gets up to 60, so I figured that was good enough to begin with. So we've got some nice, you know, bridges over the flowing water. So here we've got the animal dealer. So you can see the, you know, sign, the V-Handel, and the icon there to interact. Power boxes, nice sewer covers in the road there. Alright, so some of those giant windmills, and this is kind of the one built up area here, where I think again we saw what appeared to be like the grain silo and so forth. But yeah, definitely a good amount of traffic. So yeah, you've got various cell points there that we can interact with. Head down this way, a little bus stop. That would be interesting if we see some buses. But yeah, you know, things fleshed out with some fences and so forth there. So yeah, I think as far as going near the water, we'll do that in that top corner where we have the reclaimed space, so I won't head further south here. I'll just go this way, and it'll give us a little bit of, again, understanding of the scale. I think the balloons in the sky actually help a little bit, because it gives you a little bit of depth and distance, so you can see how things are going. We've got a car coming there from the left. So he wasn't kidding when he said extensive AI traffic. Whoa. He didn't yield very well, but I guess we're okay. But definitely, you know, interesting looking space. Just kind of giving all of us an ability to look around. Here's the BGA. So we can see that there. Looks like they take the road around the BGA a bit to give it some space. Yep, so that's all BGA. Got some crop growing there. Alright, so we've got a little bit of a home. Head that way. I think that'll, I mean, it'll obviously get us somewhere, but I think that'll get us in the direction we need, certainly. And we can see in the mini-map kind of just the coordinate countdown. So I think, let's see, just take a quick look at the map here. That is Heis Kraftwerk. Again, I unfortunately don't know what specifically these places are. I don't know the language. So, but once again, obviously you can just look at the crop you've grown if you're not playing in German, and determine if these are sell points that'll take what you've made. Alright, so at this point we are getting close to the edge. So we've got just basically a couple large parking lots. And maybe that's because of kind of what we have here with dykes and so forth. So yeah, it looks like we rise up above the edge, go to the bridge, and then cross over into that set of fields. This is that southern group that we saw. So they drop back down here. You know, you can obviously go ahead and make your home here as well if you'd like. So I'm going to head up this little road just to kind of get off the beaten track a little bit. We'll see how that takes us around the countryside. Alright, so we rise up a bit over another area. So I'll give you a little bit of a view there. So very much a different type of environment than we may be used to on a lot of other kind of maps. It looks like I can't get over from here. This will just kind of end. But that's that train track that we saw from above. So let's turn around, head back. But basically, yeah, if you needed to get to these couple fields, that's what that little road is for. So I'll catch back up with you once I kind of get back and double back where I've been. Well, I've decided while I'm down here and I'm gonna go sightseeing, I'm gonna go check out that lighthouse that we saw down at the corner here, and just get that view, see how things look. But yeah, I've certainly never been in this area of the world. But it's definitely an interesting thing to think that if this is a reclaimed space from the ocean, you know, I mean, now you've got homes and trees, and it looks like it's been here forever. But yeah, we're getting close. I caught a glimpse of the lighthouse there. There it is. Let me see so that I'm not wasting time. I don't know that I can really get there, but I can at least circle around this way and get a little bit closer. But I'm not sure that there's actually a clean road to get there. But yeah, a little bit, I don't know that I'd call them hedgerows, but there's definitely a delineation from the road with some of the bushes. Pull into the field there. And yeah, this is the forested area in the center. If you wanted to work that, looks like there's some dirt roads inside there. Right. So let me get back to off this island. I'll see you in a bit. Alright, so here I am. Just got off the bridge, so I'm going back down the roads here. I think there's a car coming, so I want to be careful to stay in my lane as we traverse around here. Again, definitely a lot of interesting water features. Their parking lot. Another parking lot. Alright, here's the train crossing. Yeah, I don't know that we need to go on to that other piece of land. We, would obviously look similar. It's just that's where the large field is over there on the other side. Whoops. Almost in the ditch there. But yeah, I know there's the town here. Just kind of wanted to take a look at that. See what we've got. Couple sell points. Yeah, but definitely a little bit of a road network. Pedestrians. Yeah, so, you know, a little bit of a lived-in feel. Looks like we've got a little bit of a roundabout down here. We'll head down that way. At least the car stopped for the people. That was nice. A little park. But yeah, you know, other than just the view and so forth, not a lot of sell points around here, as you can tell. So really just more the town itself. Alright, here's a gas station, fuel station, probably, yeah, there's some electric chargers on the side there. You can see those along with the fuel. And again, the road elevates and kind of goes along a dike here. Once again, you know, the travel across the map be pretty substantial, but you can get a feel for what it looks like. So a grain mill there of some sort. There's a sell point that you can get to down that way. I'm assuming you'd be able to go down this road and also, you know, get to the grain mill there. Yeah, it looks like there's a driveway down there. So yeah, it looks like the roads are kind of on top of, I assume these are still dikes that then, you know, as they took more and more land over, they were able to expand on. And I think that tree line is the edge of the map, so yeah. So we've got that, and then there's a field in front of that. You know, we're just a little north of our map there, or our field. So yeah, we didn't actually get to where we would have gone to. That road, I think, took us down the train tracks. So yeah, we'll head over here, and I guess we'll go look in that excavation area, and that's probably where we'll call the tour at an end. And you can see here's some waterworks dividing things again. Some space. This was one of the areas where we said, you know, you might be able to use it as a farm and a yard. You know, let's just take a quick look at the PDA so we get an idea. So yeah, you'd have to buy that space individually, and then the fields around it. But if you wanted that kind of as your yard, you can. You know, you just obviously need to figure out how you'd figure it out with the money. Don't know if that's just a depression, or doesn't look like there's water down there. Alright, so this is field 53, and then yes, that's the edge of the map. So that's pretty nice with the wheat. You know, it's a little challenge to get into those fields, as you can see, but you know, definitely an interesting type of setup. It looks like, yeah, we've got a water feature in the center of the field there. Hopefully I'm not making you dizzy as I'm moving around. If I am, I apologize, but I'm trying to kind of get a look. And let's see, the road's coming up there. And I don't know that we're going to see much different than what we saw from the air, but... So, a little bit of a tower there, a little watchtower, and then, you know, just a wide open area to do some digging, I think. So there you go, you got some sand, some earth, and, you know, there are some excavator mods and things like that that you can utilize. And you can dig that stuff out. So that gives us, you know, a look at what we've got here on the map. Yeah, I mean, it's not telling us specifically anything. Just didn't know if the field info would give us any info on it, but... So yeah, so this, you know, North Germany, as they said. 4X map, definitely something different. But... certainly intriguing enough that, you know, my normal question at the end of these, would I play this map? Yeah, I think I would give it a shot. It's definitely something different. I guess my one concern is, you know, without productions on there, you know, either waiting for that, you know, you're still in that situation now of, do you start and risk the position that you might have to do a new save game and therefore have to, like, redo things again? Or do you wait for the map with productions, or do you just get productions on there in a different way, you know, with mods, and then you can just buy those and place those, you know, which obviously I think, let me just take a quick look. Because, yeah, you can, you know, obviously place productions from the game itself. So, I mean, you do have those options, but then you're just going to have to obviously make sure that you're giving yourself enough money, or, you know, you're working up from no money to then suddenly be able to build these factories. So, you don't necessarily need to use mods, but you know, it's obviously perhaps just a little more clean mentally if they're already there. Either way, I guess you're buying them for the same cost that it costs to place them. So I suppose it's 6 and 1/2 dozen of another. But there's definitely room around, certainly where you have the parking lots. Those would be logical places. You know, you'd obviously have to buy the land with the parking lot, but then you could put productions in there. You know, and maybe that's the plan that the modder has of adding those in later, is placing those buildings around in those spaces. And so those parking lots may be kind of pre-work for that. So hopefully that gives you a tour, you know, a good enough feel for this map. Lets you decide if this is something you want to take a go at and utilize. But we've got a new 4X map here that, you know, definitely has some promise and certainly can keep you busy with the field sizes that we've got. So, I will see you next time.